Damn. Oh man.
But
I don't know it was today.
what?
So UT campus had a festival, the Glow Festival on campus, which they turned the whole campus into like a whole trail lights, basically.
Oh, nice.
But they turned the tower orange and they have fireworks and like a whole presentation. Looks badass. To be honest, it looks like we won the SEC championship.
Hey, and they had a budget to do our work if we won it. Like, hey, we didn't win it, so I'm gonna use it right now. That's what it was right there.
All our money went to there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Let me get a water real quick. Right back. Okay. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I was gonna look up one more thing.
You good? You good? Wow. Oregon, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Bama, BYU, Utah, Miami, Vanderbilt. Okay, so like this makes no sense. Like we beat Vandy. Why the fuck are we 17? What the fuck? Respect the head-to-head. I mean, oh my goodness.
But
Vandy, USC.
Vandy, they're giving too much love to Vandy.
Michigan, Virginia, Tennessee. Like I don't know how the fuck Tennessee is number 20. They haven't beaten nobody this year. Nobody.
It's crazy.
Let me see their schedule.
Tennessee got embarrassed by OU.
Yeah,
at home.
So they beat New Mexico State last week, lost to Oklahoma, they beat Kentucky, lost to Bama, they beat Arkansas, they beat Mississippi State, they beat University of Southern Alabama, they lost to Georgia, they beat Eastern Tennessee, 72 points. Holy shit, there's some hoes. They beat Syracuse. Like they have no ranked wins, bro.
No, they don't.
And they have 2 L's. And they could very much lose. They're on the road at Florida this week. That makes no sense. I don't like Florida. I'll say it for the video, but
I don't like Tennessee above.
I mean, we're in front of them, but they shouldn't be fucking ranked. But anyways, let's get into it.
Okay. What do we call this one? Breakdown or review?
The Texas post game
review.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
All right. We started. Ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Joel and Mark bringing you another edition of Texas Tuesdays, where we break down Texas versus Georgia post game review. So, as everybody knows, final score was 35-10 at Georgia. Just you want to give your overall thoughts on this game? Just like a quick summary before we break it down individually, what we thought about each thing. Like, what was your overall take on this loss?
Um, I think I'm really proud of Arch played. I think Arch played a really good game under the circumstances. You know, playing on the road against this Georgia defense and Kirby Smart. I think he threw the ball better than Gunnar Stockton. And a lot of people are gonna be like, "What do you mean? Like Stockton had 4 passing touchdowns?" No, but when you have a running game that's contributing, it's much easier. Arch had to throw way more times and very obvious passing situations where we can't run the ball. I think Stark was being a little bit too conservative at times. I think we definitely could have won this game if we played a bit more focused. But I just think the guys once again we hit the road and we're asleep. We get punched in the mouth, and I think they're the team to kind of be scared of. A&M kind of dropped the ball this week. Indiana's been struggling. Bama lost. I think Georgia's humming right now. So I think they're probably one of the best teams in the country right now. So I mean, overall I'm disappointed that we lost, obviously, but I just think if we're gonna lose, we can't lose in this fashion. Giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter. At one point, it was a 1-score game. In the fourth quarter, blown coverage, onside kick, touchdown, and then it was desperate mode. And then before you know it was 31 points on the scoreboard in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, 21 points in the fourth quarter. I think if we lost to Georgia, by a touchdown or a field goal, the committee definitely would not punish us, knocking us down that far to 17. But those are my overall thoughts on it. What about yours?
Yeah. Overall, I'm proud of Arch, the way he handled, having no run game. He was able to move around the pocket. O-line definitely protected Arch when he needed him. Just really disappointed, and I want to say this. I know it's probably been beaten so much this week already, but I'm really disappointed how we didn't match the physicality. From our receivers being pushed back on those screenplays, our guys not getting open, our guys basically dropping the ball, our receivers dropping the ball, and then just on defense getting beat the way they got beat. Our secondary did. It's just really disappointing because Sark talks about all gas, no brakes. Maybe you should start talking to the guys and like, hey, let's be focused, let's be disciplined more. Instead of trying to play so fast. These guys clearly it's a young team, but I feel like this week we definitely showed our inexperience, our lack of discipline, and and also just not being physical enough. That we all knew this the narrative. Like you're gonna play Georgia, you gotta master physicality to be in the game. And I just feel like in those 3 key aspects, we didn't mount to it. So that was my take. Those are the areas that I feel like we lacked in.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kirby Smart kind of in his press conference, he was like, people come to Georgia because we want to hit, we want to be physical,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Kirby was kind of letting Stark know, like, hey, like this is the most physical football team you're ever going to play. No matter what year it is, no matter if we have a quarterback or we have a bad defense, like we're the Georgia Bulldogs, we're going to punch you in the mouth. And for some reason, we just can't match that intensity. And we maybe we do show up, in the SEC championship, we show up and we're matching it. But can we match that intensity for all 4 quarters? Obviously not. We didn't do that. I mean, Georgia had 2 guys averaging nearly 5 yards a carry, and they had 3 guys averaging more than 5 yards a carry, or nearly 5 yards a carry, and a couple guys averaging 3 yards a carry. If guys are running the ball like that, it's just we're not being physical. We're not staying in our gaps. We're not, getting downhill. We're not making those tackles. Even offensively, we kept getting pushed around. Going back to last year, I know it's a different roster, last year when Georgia came to Austin, within the first quarter, I was like, man, these guys are thick. Like, no Epstein, like they were thick. They were coming down
Fast.
and just smacking our guys around. I'm like, man, like this offseason, like you really got to focus on getting our skilled players bit more stronger and bigger, and our running backs. Like, I feel like some SEC programs, they cracked the code to having physical, hard-hitting guys no matter what year. I think Texas relies on these super athletes to come in, like an Anthony Hill or a Colin Simmons, to have that extra, like, it factor. But like Georgia, it doesn't matter who's in second string or third string, they're gonna hit just as hard. Now that they probably might lack in coverage, but they're gonna hit. Like, everybody's physical. Even like their running backs. And I feel like Ole Miss always has quality, big, solid running backs. Florida always has big, solid running backs. Bama, Georgia. So I think Texas' next step this offseason in the transfer portal, even through like the weight room, is really adding some more weight. Kind of how like Lincoln Riley kind of did to his team. It was a cool before and after pictures what he did with his team. Like, those guys that are like, they were skinny and had their body fat up there. Some guys were overweight, and like they had a body recomp, and I think the whole team gained about 1,000 pounds of muscle. Because Lincoln Riley knows, hey, like, we're on the West Coast, we were playing Pac-12, air raid type of offense, flag football. Now we're going to the Big Ten. We got to be physical. So the whole team as a whole put on 1,000 pounds of muscle. I feel like that's the next transition we need to do, because, like, I think the mentality's there, the heart's there. We get pushed around too much, too easily. And I get it. You're not always not going to be the biggest and fastest teams, but it's just like, man, Georgia has our number, and I think they have our number. One, we get outcoached in some spots, and two is just those guys they're bringing it no matter what the circumstances.
I wanted to go ahead and break down the QB's performances. Arch Manning's performance was, 23 out of 43 pass attempts, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Gunnar Stockman was 24 out of 29, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Clearly, Gunnar Stockman was on point that night. And he made the throws when it needed, because he actually had a run game. He didn't have to make every single throw. He just needed to make the throws that he needed, and that's it. So compared to Texas' offense, we only ran it truly 23 yards.
Yeah.
And the only reason why it's so low is because Arch, remember that one play where Arch kind of ran back and he didn't throw out of bounds? He kind of took that sack, unnecessary sack.
Yeah.
He lost 16 yards there, which kind of hurt their rushing yards.
Yeah, but either way, the rushing yards are still abysmal.
Yeah.
If we have those 16 yards, what we at? Barely at 50 or right below 50?
They're like 40 something. But
yeah.
Here's a crazy stat. In the 3 games that we played Georgia in, we've only been able to rush it a total of 79 yards in all 3 games that we played them. This is including this Saturday, SEC championship, and last year and at home. So doesn't that tell you right then and there, our run game isn't going to cut it. It didn't cut it last year. It's not going to cut it this year. How come we didn't fix it over the offseason? Did we expect an injured Baxter, CJ Baxter, to come back and magically fix this problem? He wasn't really a factor that night. And I don't think honestly, I don't see a future for CJ Baxter anymore. Just watching his performance day in and seeing him in every game, I feel like our Texas start bringing in that number 3 running back in the country next year. I just don't think it's going to cut it, man. I mean, I feel like we need to get deep in the portal, look for some battle tested running backs to help this load, because putting it all on Arch isn't going to cut it, especially if we have a struggling offense with too many drop passes and an O-line, inexperienced O-line that any moment can just give up and break down. Luckily, they've been playing pretty well, but you just can't open the gaps enough for running backs to get through.
Right. And I think that the main part of this dilemma that that we're seeing with this Texas offense, like I'm not concerned at all about Arch. I think Arch good in the pocket.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's gonna have some growing pains and made some mistakes and taking sacks that he shouldn't be taking. But when you have to sit there and drop back more than 40 times against this Georgia defense, and maybe they don't have the best pass rush that they typically have, but they still have an elite defensive-minded coach. And Arch was able to put the ball in spots that probably weren't a whole lot of like world-class talent, but they were a lot of confidence throws. I was seeing a lot of confidence throws, or seeing the fielding in the ball out and ripping it quickly. That made me very happy. I think over the course of the last 3 to 4 games, Arch has really turned the corner. That's got me really excited. I think Arch is, he's seeing things and he's getting the ball out and he's pushing the ball downfield. Now, at any team, any level, if you have no running game, it's a nightmare for your quarterback. The defensive line, they're pinning their ears back. They're getting after the quarterback. The receivers are going to get gassed from running routes and routes and routes and routes. It's not a recipe to win. And you look at Gunnar Stockton's performance, almost 100 QBR and only 1 interception. That play action was kicking our ass. Those tight ends are kicking us ass. That's one thing that I feel like, Vandy kind of exposed, with their talented tight end, and also Georgia's talented tight end, Oscar. I forgot his name, but that kid's a stud. It's just when you don't. I think the most important part of football is running the ball. Running the ball, it takes so much, even defensively. If you can run the ball, Gunnar Stockton is not going to throw the ball for 229 yards, or at least 29 attempts, because he's going to have less possessions. If Texas can run maybe 120 yards, 150 yards a game, you do the math, you chew the clock, and not say chew the clock because when you're losing, but you're slowing the game down, keeping the explosive offense off the field. You're probably taking away a possession or two. So that's less time for your opponent to score points on you. And also it keeps your defense fresh. Those big bodies, that this defense is built, like Pete's defense, his defensive scheme the past couple of years has always been big nose tackles, and I would say, I guess, kind of also bigger DNs. I think Colin Simmons is an exception, but some teams like having a three down lineman scheme, or a 4, or even a 5 front. Texas runs a lot of a 4, and our guys are beef. I don't think they're fast and they can cover sideline and sideline. I think we struggle with the outside runs. But when it comes to up the gut, you go nowhere. But if you're able to run the ball, you can give your quarterback a chance to make easier throws. The defense is not expecting that. Defense knows, hey, well, it's second down, and you ran the ball twice, and you only got 1 yard. We know you're going to throw down. You're going to throw on the third down. So Arch, he threw for a touchdown. Has so many incompletions, but like you said, guys need to catch the ball. If you can catch the defense off guard on a play action, it's going to be a much easier throw instead of these tight window throws. I just think we really, really got to invest in our O-line. And like you said, I don't see a future for CJ Baxter here next year. He only had 1 carry, which is kind of weird. He had 1 carry. Quintavious Weisner had 9 carries. Mingo had 2 carries for 0 yards. I don't know how that happens. But I get it. The run game's not going with where you want it to go. You can't abandon the run game, no matter how bad it is. Every first down, every series, every first down essentially out of those, 3 or 4 downs you got to run the ball at least one time and keep the defense guessing. If you just abandon it 100%, you're not going to win against a talented Georgia team. It's not sustainable. Even like you said last year, like with a much better O-line, a much more capable quarterback, experienced, reliable receivers, none of that mattered because we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't run the ball, and it was a disaster. I'm a little worked up about it because I want my horns to win, but this wasn't winning football right here.
No, and I'm glad that.
Defense really stepped up.
Well, I'm glad. Well, I got two things to say about what you just said right now, and then earlier. First, like what you said earlier, how we abandoned the run game. Like if you realize how the game started, we were moving going down the field. You know, most of our rush attempts were in the first quarter, and then we completely abandoned it. Like completely. I just don't understand why and what was the game plan. Like, do you think we're gonna just go air raid and just outrun this Georgia defense? Um, I don't know. And then those two negative yardage or no yardage for Wingo, those were, I believe those came from screenplays, and that's when Parker Livingstone and I want to say DJ Moore were out there blocking. Man, they were just blown out. Like they were just pushed back, and their DBs just got to Wingo right away. No yardage. So there's a clear example why physicality mattered a lot.
Can I stop you right there though? You made a great point. Parker Livingstone, right? Parker Livingstone, he's been great this whole season. He's a true freshman. I'm not a scientist, but most true freshmen come in a bit underweight, especially at the skilled positions. Okay, you're going against these other DBs that are stronger than you, more physical than you. That's a coaching mistake. Why do we have Parker Livingstone out there?
Blocking.
Block exactly. Like, okay, let's be creative. We know that we're gonna get outmatched physically. Let's do more screens with tight ends. Just go in 2 and 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. They roll out and they block. And if they get blown up, then I'm not gonna blame you. But like, why is Parker Livingstone and DeAndre Moore? He's a slot receiver. Hey, slot receiver, pick up the safety that's coming downhill. It's not gonna work.
No. And then the last thing you said, I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna deny we have a good defense. My issue is these past 2 games is that we given up 21 points 2 games in a row in the fourth quarter. How do you explain that? Like, how do you explain? One, I get we didn't have John McDonald or Michael Taft versus Vandy at the end for that game, but now we got them both here. We got them both here, and they get beat. How do you let a tight end walk in like that?
Yeah.
On Michael Taft. That was on Michael Taft. Michael Taft picked up the wrong receiver, let the tight end run right behind him, and they scored. That was embarrassing to watch, especially from an experienced 4-year starter like Michael Taft.
100%.
Then, they brought in their freshmen, and I think there was a couple freshmen in there playing safety. They played pretty good. They didn't let any, so all the touchdowns came from our veteran guys. Those last 3 touchdowns of the game.
Yeah. So I think okay, so the fourth quarter, the first touchdown, Georgia, that's the one you're talking about where Michael Taft let the guy walk in for free. Okay, busted coverage.
But okay, so, back up a little bit. Colin Simmons gets called for offsides that same series. Takes the Georgia's offense closer to the end zone. Colin Simmons didn't have to, just being disciplined there, didn't have to be called offsides there. We had him at 3rd and long. He gets called offsides, puts him in a scoring position, and then we see Michael Taft blown coverage right behind him.
You're right. Yep. Once again, undisciplined. So Georgia scores right after we just scored. Like, oh my goodness, like winning this game. It's 10-14.
Yeah.
Georgia scores.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, it's not. And then the onside kick. Now, Stark was saying that, hey, hey, I know Kirby. I wouldn't say he's dirty. He has dirty moments, but I think he's kind of more like he's a sneaky, like, oh, like, get my boy, I ain't gonna do like that, does it.
Hey, you see that Kirby meme when he goes,
Yeah.
No, that's prime Kirby Smart right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Stark foreshadowed, in that press conference. He foreshadowed what Kirby Smart is going to do. How do you let this man do it to you 3 times, bro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
And put the blame on you.
Put the blame, yeah. And then what was the last one?
Fool me 3 times. Fuck the peace sign.
Bro, like this man is Kirby Smart's your daddy. Just plain and simple.
Yeah, at this point, he was saying like, "Oh, like, yeah, we're homeboys, we text, yada yada." Hey, that's cool. That's cool. On this field, like Nick Saban said, I don't want to see a smile on that fucker's face.
I don't want to see. Yeah,
like y'all can be friends off the field, but like, here's the thing: like, you know what's coming. Our special teams has been really good all year. We can't beat on them too hard. It's all right, because they won us a couple games. All right, fine.
This game, special teams dropped the ball. Remember that Niblick came and helped us, on that 20+ return, and then number 24 gets called for a holding call.
Yeah, because he tackled a guy. He got out physical. He got blown up instead of like falling down.
Yeah,
he held the Georgia guy and bowed down with him.
Bro, come on. In a game like this, it's not acceptable.
Yep. Get blown up.
Yeah.
That's your fault. Weight room.
Nobody's going to remember it. Nobody's going to see it. But because you had a holding call, now the whole world's going to see it.
Yeah, exactly. That guy's more concerned about the film later on in the week when coach is like, Davis, you're on your back, just like your mama.
Exactly. Like, bro, who cares if your buddies are going to make fun of you? Now the whole country's making fun of you.
Exactly. 100%. So Kirby does that onside kick, gets us. Okay, as soon as he does that onside kick, there was a shift in energy. We were like, oh, Georgia's gonna score again. And they scored. Now we're like, oh my goodness, it's panic mode. Like we're down big now.
We're down. At that point, we're down 28-10. And I think by the time they score, we had like 6 minutes. It was basically out of reach at that point.
Yep. I think Arch, his first time he got the ball in the fourth quarter was with 6 minutes left, right?
Yeah. Arch we didn't touch the ball until 6 minutes left.
But how do you do that? You sustain drives. You keep the ball on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I love Coach Stark. I think he's a great coach. I like his culture. I like how open he is. I think he's a great leader of young men. But we got to figure out what's the underlying issue here. I think we're scratching the surface. How can we be more physical, and how can we show up more focused? You gotta be like that Bama team that went in there this week. Maybe that Bama team is not. Maybe they're probably more talented than us, but not by a whole lot. Like we're pretty evenly matched with Bama. I'll give them up because they have a more experienced quarterback. But they were focused. They went in there and they were focused. And they barely won, but they were focused. We're not focused anywhere. Even at home, we're not focused.
No. We're not, bro. I mean, 9 penalties. Georgia only had 1.
Wow, look at that.
So clearly, and then all right, the narrative is, oh, it's a young Texas team. There's a lot of young players. Look, I got a really cool stat. I didn't even know you could do this. So if you go on the SEC network, they'll break down by percentages, like the age group of each team. So Texas right now, their roster, they have 40% freshmen.
Damn.
Okay. Now look at Georgia's. Georgia's freshman roster is 46.5.
Damn.
So Georgia clearly has a younger team. And then it breaks it down by sophomore, junior, and senior, and graduate. Here's a little nugget. Vandy has 22% graduates that count for the team.
That makes sense.
Vandy, fucking Pavia, he's part of that. I'm pretty sure you can count him as a graduate at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, like, let's just stay on. Okay, I'll stay on topic. Sophomore, we got 22%. Georgia has 17. Juniors, we got 16%. Georgia has 23. And then seniors, we got 18, and they got 11.
That's pretty balanced. balances out
So
the grades.
yeah, I mean, there's just no reason why we shouldn't be disciplined at this point. You know, Kirby Smart definitely ingrates them, puts in their head, you need to be the most physical team week in and week out. And by being that physical, you also be disciplined in order to be, they go coincide with each other. I feel like that's what we lack in all three phases in that, to be honest. We're as talented as anybody in the country. To be honest.
Ohio State?
I mean, they only put up 14 points against us.
True. Okay, if we play our best football, yeah. But we will never play our best football.
No, so Texas never goes out and plays their best. We tend to play down every opponent.
And we play up to the opponent. There's
no in between.
You're right. You said it perfectly. There's no Texas standard. It doesn't matter if we're playing BYU in the Big 12, Texas Tech in the Big 12, or Georgia or Bama in the SEC. Texas, play to your standard. Hey guys, this week, we're playing Rice. Let's struggle with these guys.
I remember those days.
Yeah, and the next week, hey, let's go toe to toe with Oklahoma with CeeDee Lamb. Let's go toe to toe. Like Texas, we need a standard and put the standard wherever you want. Hopefully, it's high, but don't deviate from that standard. Like Georgia, it typically, besides this year, they play to their standard. Doesn't matter if it's a good team, it's gonna be a good game. If it's a bad team, they're gonna blow that team out. And we need to see this more consistency. And I mean, I'm super grateful for how good we've been playing the past couple of years. I'll be honest with you, man, right now. Like, I'm not glad that we lost, obviously, but I do feel like I can breathe. I haven't been able to breathe Texas football the past 3 to 4 years, because it's always if we lose this game, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Like in 2023, 2024. Now this year, I think our playoff hopes are kind of out of reach. SEC championship out of reach. I'm like, okay. Now we can just play, obviously for the games. It's for fun, but actually, players, hey, you got no expectations. Just go play football. Go have fun. Like the state of Texas is not going to hate you. A lot of people forget. These are still humans. They're just still young men out developing. And you can't be too harsh on them. But yeah. I feel a sense of relief. Hey, you know what? If we beat Arkansas, cool. We lose to A&M, whatever. Or we lose out, we win out. It doesn't matter. Because for Texas, and I'm very proud to say this, that Texas has it's natty or bust. It's not like, hey, can we get to a bowl game? That's not our goals in this era that we're in. So, but it is the past couple of years been stressful. Even with what was it? Since 2022 or was it 2023?
I think 2023.
Yeah, 2023. Going to the CFP in 2024. Going to CFP again, and this year with the. Yeah, I'm glad we made it this far. It could have been a dumpster fire. We could have lost 4 or 5 games at this point.
We should have lost. We probably should have lost
3 games.
We should have lost the Kentucky game. We should have lost the Mississippi State game. We should have lost against Vandy.
we could easily be and whatever in SEC play.
True.
Can you imagine? We'll be 0-6.
I mean, what was OU's record last year? I think they won 2 or 3 games last year in the SEC. Yeah. Could easily been that. I mean, clearly, this is kind of thought about it after the Florida game. Maybe this is just a rebuild.
That's fine. That's fine. No,
but the narrative is the narrative was that Texas was the number 1 preseason team. I don't know why. I don't know who thought that we were going to be the number 1 team in the country.
That's funny.
After we lost 10 plus players to the draft, we got a brand new receiver, a brand new O-line, a brand new QB, brand new O-line, 2 returning receivers. And I don't know. It just baffled me to think that we had the opportunity. We actually had thought that we were going to make it to the number one seed at the end of the season.
Yeah. Stark had the same reaction as you did. He's like, well, I think they asked him like, hey, like, how do you feel about the season being like a failure? He's like, it's not a failure. Like, I think we see our expectations. He's like, we didn't ask to be number one. We didn't give ourselves number one.
No,
Like, so there's two ways you can look at it. People are like, oh, like, that's your mentality, yada yada. But I think Stark is right, kind of like what you're saying. Like, hey, like, I wouldn't think we'd be the best team ever because we lost more than 30 players in the past couple of years to the draft. We have a new quarterback. You're 100% right.
now if we would have done what Georgia, what Michigan, what Alabama was doing, now if we would have done what they do and tell these guys, hey, don't go to the draft, stay. Quinn, don't go, stay. O-line, stay. Running back, stay. Receiver, stay. Defense, stay. One more year. This is our year. I promise you. Imagine have everybody last year back.
Yeah, it would be insane.
Like, that's how these teams tend to play out. Georgia won the national championship because they had 4-year starters, 5-year starters. They brought back guys and told them to stay. Like, hey, this is gonna be our year. Ohio State did last year. They had 5-year seniors there.
Mm-hmm. Michigan the year prior too.
Michigan did the same thing. So, Texas is one of those schools, and this is actually a compliment to be pulling out 10+ draft picks a year.
Yeah.
Now, how do you retain it? That's Sark's issue. That's his. Now he has to solve that. Like, how do I retain the talent, and how do I continue to stay consistent the following year? It's tough.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your final take? I guess we kind of at some point, we gotta move on and just hope for the best the next 2 games. Like, what's your final take from this?
Yeah, I think the program, the University of Texas football needs to be like, our mindset needs to be okay. Like, let's just be who we are. Let's go play. Let's go have fun. Let's go take care of business against a very talented, explosive Arkansas team. Let's give our crowd something to cheer for, and let's take it one week at a time. Because obviously we have a huge rivalry next week. No matter what are the outcomes for these games, it doesn't matter as long as we play hard and just be proud to be a Longhorn. And I think if we win out or lose out, I think the offseason should be treated the same. How can we get more physical? How can we be more disciplined? And if we do those 2 things, I think the Longhorns are going to be a really tough team to beat next year. If we're not committing 8-10 penalties a game, if we can run the ball 100 yards,
that should be our goals for next year.
Yeah.
Lower down the penalties, be more physical, and try to stay above. Try to get running backs that can run over 100 yards, 1 or 2 at least. I'm not asking for each running back to run 100. I'm asking, as a collective, we need to run more than 100 yards a game.
Right. 100%. 100%. I think I saw a cool stat. It was like, well, it wasn't cool right now, but like, Stark, since he's been a head coach, he's been able to run the ball very efficiently everywhere he's been at. Washington, USC, Bama, even at Texas. Every year he's been here, he's had a 1,000-yard rusher. This is the first year that he has nobody near that. And Stark's offense is all about running the ball. You can't run the ball, there's no offense. So that needs to be our main approach. Let's go. Let's play physical. Let's run the ball and not make these stupid mistakes. What about yours?
My final take, the season isn't over. There's still some positive take from this. Don't get back out there. It's a new, it's another game next week. We got to, get ready for the next one. Get ready for Arkansas. Take care of business. It's a rivalry game.
Right.
And then take care of Texas A&M, another rivalry game. And don't let, you're playing at home the last 2 games. Don't let A&M come in here and leave Austin undefeated. That should be their main focus now. In my opinion, that's a win. We beat A&M. That's a win. I'll be happy. It's been a successful season in my opinion, and we're able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing too, I don't think we should be sounding alarms right now about getting rid of Sark. A lot of people are saying like, oh, let's get rid of Sark. I mean, literally, Sark brought us out of the dark ages. We went through 2 terrible coaching experiences prior to Sark here, and now that we actually have a coach that has us competing, for the SEC title game or the championships, competing for national championships. That's a big upgrade. I'm glad we're in that position. We're not just competing for the Texas Bowl or the Valera Bowl. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, we're going in the right direction. Sark's doing a great job in recruiting. He's doing a great job in developing, and he's doing a really good job in getting these kids in the ultimate goal, getting them to the NFL, in my opinion. So what more can you ask for? Like these kids are definitely getting, or there's improvement here. Yes, it's a young team, and I feel like in a couple years, next year maybe we might even be, might be another contender for the national championship. But as long as we take care of penalties, take care of some off season issues, and I think we'll be all right next year. To be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, man, we're so blessed. We're so blessed to root for a team like this and a university like that. I mean, it's just like kind of a snapshot. Like Penn State, they were a season favorite to win it all. They're not being ranked in the top 25. Clemson were favored to win it. They're not ranked top 25. LSU had high hopes. They're not even ranked top 25. Those 3 teams all went to the playoffs last year. And they all had the returning quarterbacks come back. We went to the playoffs last year and we didn't have our quarterback come back. And we lost a lot of talent, and we're still ranked. Check this out. Texas, on the top 4 teams ranked as of the CFP as of today, we played 3 of them. We played Ohio State. We're going to play A&M, and we played Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in the top 10 teams, we played Oklahoma. So that's in the top 10 teams, we played 4 teams. In the top 15 teams, we played Vanderbilt. So in the top 15, we played 5 of those schools. And for us to only have 3 losses, it's this season could have been way worse. So I mean, you're right. I'm not worried about our future. I think our future is pretty bright here. We ain't going nowhere. Hook 'em horns.
And last little nugget here. I don't know if you heard Desmond Howard's video. Have you seen it?
No.
So Desmond Howard, he's an ESPN analyst. I don't know if it was like Sunday morning, Monday morning. I don't know. He's like, so he takes a video of himself walking out, and he's basically saying, telling Texas fans, he's saying, don't be surprised if there's a mutual parting of the head coaching position at Texas later this season. I don't know what he meant by that, because it's blown up. It's going crazy. It's going viral. Everybody's like, so is Sark leaving? Is he gonna quit? Is Texas thinking about firing Sark? And all day today I've been looking at videos, and everybody, even the guys, that are the head of that talk about Texas football as their jobs, even they're like, man, I don't know what's going on. We can't get any intel on it. So is there something going on behind the scenes that we don't know?
Oh my goodness.
It's Sark going for that tight end job, because that tight end job's looking real. That's the only job I can think of that.
There's no school Sark leaves Texas for. If he's leaving, he's going to the NFL.
There's no way he's back to college. No,
there's no way. If he's leaving the NFL. Oops. The Titans fire the head coach. And who else?
The Browns.
The Browns. There's rumors that Sean McVay might retire this year. Maybe he goes to LA. I don't know, but oh my goodness.
What the fuck? He's so young.
He tried retiring the year that they won the Super Bowl. He tried retiring that year too.
that
He was like,
that
I'm
man could
done.
probably still suit up.
Yeah. He's
The Raiders head coaching job.
well, it's Pete Carroll year one. I don't think they fired him year one. I mean, I would be shocked. I just don't see Stark leaving. I think he really loves UT. And after being fired from USC and not having a job and getting paid less than $50,000 a year, being an assistant at Bama and getting a second chance, and Texas giving him the opportunity, and they allow him to grow those first couple seasons, and to lose to Bama, schedule him again, and beat Bama. It's just been so much growth for just Stark as a person, I believe. They got
Ohio State again next year. They got
Michigan. Our schedule came out last year already?
Yeah, it's already been made. So I know they got preseason. So like you know how they have these preseason games, or they're not technically preseason, they're just pre-games. So they got Ohio State again, they got Michigan the year next, and then they got Notre Dame back to back.
Wait, when did it come out?
They sure already been made. Those games are like locked down already.
Oh my goodness. I thought they come out
Yeah, these games were made. I know we play Notre Dame back-to-back years sometime in 2028 and 2029.
What? Okay, so thank goodness week one we play at home. All right, first 3 games are at home. Texas State and then Ohio State. Big difference. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Then UTSA. I see it. And then Michigan, UTEP, Louisiana Tech, Notre Dame. Yeah, you're right. You play Notre Dame back to back.
So,
man. Oh wow.
So does it really matter if Texas schedule these games? That's another narrative. Like if they're not going to respect the out of conference head to head, then what's the point of scheduling these games? I mean, that's a whole different topic on its own. We can talk about that.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if we win out and we don't get in. They ain't respect it because it's a 3-loss. It's really a 2-loss, but whatever. If we win out and we get in, that means they respect it, and then we'll continue to schedule those hard games, just like Clemson and who else had a hard game that year? LSU scheduled a hard game. Yeah. Alabama went on the road to Tuscaloosa. But that's what the fans want to see. They want to see these badass games. They want to see USC go play Ole Miss. It's have a cool out of conference. It's like a universe crossover. But I agree. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, and then just to cap it off, I believe Anthony Hill broke his hand. So the initial report hasn't been officially out yet. I think they're waiting for Wednesday and Thursday, whenever the injury report comes out, to announce it, that he might be out against Arkansas. Or he might be out the rest of the season.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's tough. But on the other note, Ty Anthony Smith, I think, had his best game against Georgia. So that's a good note. I mean, that's a sophomore right there playing his best football at the moment. So that's really good in my opinion.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, if Anthony Hill comes back for his senior year next year, bro, we got to win the Natty.
Man, dude, I think at this point, he's almost at 80 tackles. He had a couple interceptions already, forced fumbles. I think he's ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
How many?
He's been a starter since a freshman.
Yeah, he's been a starter since freshman. He was a 5. Did he come in as a 5-star prospect?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many do you think this year do you think we lose to the draft?
That actually get drafted?
Well, just in general, because I know there's a good handful that might get undrafted, but still get a shot in an NFL team, in my opinion.
How many guys come back for starters? So there's 22. 11 offense, 11 defense. I think on offense, we keep 4 offensive linemen. Arch comes back. Trey comes back.
We lose. I know. I think we
see.
lose DJ Campbell. We lose Hudson Card. Not Hudson Card. What's that other O line? We lose 2 O lines, in my opinion.
Okay.
On defense, I think we lose.
Wait, hold on. Let's finish offense. So say we keep 3 offensive linemen, Arch, Trey, that's 5. Wingo comes back. DeAndre Moore part leaves.
He might leave. Yeah, DeAndre Moore is eligible to go to the draft. So he probably go.
He ain't get drafted.
He might transfer, to be honest.
Yeah. And who's that one guy, that tight end? He's a senior, right, from Cal?
Oh, Andrews, yeah, Jack Andrews.
So he's not coming back.
No, he's going in the draft.
Okay, he's going to the draft. So
Yeah.
Offense, like we might lose half our offense. And defense,
John McDonald, Michael Taft, Muhammad.
that's 3 right there. Damn, all secondary.
Ethan Burke.
Yep, he's a senior. That's 4. That one transfer from Purdue, that nose tackle.
Trevian, he's a transfer from UTSA.
Oh, Trey Moore, that's 6. Anthony
Trey
Hill. Hey, what about LaFau? Is he a junior or senior?
That's a good question. I think he might be a junior.
So that's about half too, a little more than half.
I don't know if Alex January would either transfer out or come back, but Alex January is another proven. He was a top ACC player of the year, and then now he's playing pretty good football. Ohio transfer, he might transfer out. He was a senior, so that's 2 already.
Yeah, I mean, so we're probably looking at, once again, half the starters leave on offense and defense.
Yeah, I mean,
what about the kicker? What about the kicker? Is he a senior?
Mason Shipley, he might be. At this point, I feel like you just gotta keep looking for kickers. To be honest, you can't settle on one.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm trying to think of anybody else. Niblet. Honestly, Niblet might be on the way out. He might be the hottest kick returner in the country right now.
Yeah, he might get a bag to go somewhere.
Yeah, bro. Like put him somewhere dangerous where they can use him. A team knows how to use their special teams. That has a good special teams. Yeah, it'd be dangerous.
Imagine riding Niblet like on the Vandy type of team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there you have it. I mean, you're looking at 10 plus players leaving again.
Yeah, but this is in that weird. This is the year that's kind of like. So Stark was his year 4 for him or year 5? He's year 5, right?
Yeah.
So he got here. He had a shitty team. He brings in true freshman Quinn. Gets better. That's 2023. 2024, Quinn's here. Wait, no. This is year 4 for him, right?
I think he came in 2022, right? I thought this was year 5.
Sarkeesian.
2021.
What?
He was
2021, but 2022 season.
He officially hired after the 2020 season to replace Tom Herman, and his first season with the team was 2021 season.
Oh, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is year 4 for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's part of that weird year that, like, he gets in, he brings in talent. It's like a talent gap, and because like his last 2 recruiting classes have been really good, and you said that Texas roster was like 46% freshmen. So it's like that year kind of reloading up on homegrown guys instead of relying on the portal. Like the last 2 years on receivers, it's been portal. Livingstone, DeAndre Moore, Brian Ringo, those guys are coming up from the bottom. And this year we had 2 5-star freshman receivers who can develop. So next year they'll get the ball more often too. I think Stark's kind of playing the long game for sure.
that's his goal. You know, every coach has a different style, and I think it just sucks that, you know. So Penn State gave James Franklin 11 to 12 years. I see Sark here for that long, to be honest.
Me too.
And people are comparing Sark to James Franklin. Sark has what, 4 years, and James Franklin has 12 years. Sark's already competed in more conference championships and has competed in more national championships than James
Yep.
Franklin. So there's no
Yeah, 9-day difference.
Yeah.
Besides, James Franklin, he lost that conference championship, I believe.
yeah, the one he faced, the one and only he faced.
Yeah, he lost that one. So Stark, he won Big 12. Last time we did that, it was 14 years prior to that. I gotcha. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up our Texas post game breakdown for the Georgia. Once again, it's a final score 35-10. Texas will be hosting the final 2 games at home versus the Razorbacks and the Texas A&M Aggies. Well, thank y'all for checking in our video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. See y'all later.
Peace. Let it go.
Sweet.